Welcome to Today at Wayne, a podcast that engages and informs the Wayne State University campus community. With news, announcements, information, and current events discussions relevant to the university's goals and mission, Today at Wayne serves as the perfect forum for our campus to begin a conversation or keep one going. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to the Today at Wayne podcast. I'm Daryl Dawsey. Wayne State football may not be the best known program in the country, but the Warriors nonetheless have an impressive track record when it comes to putting players in the NFL. From Tom Beard to Paul Butcher to Joique Bell, Warriors have been earning spots on NFL rosters for decades. This past NFL season was no different, as former Wayne State Warriors star linebacker Anthony Pittman turned in a solid performance this season for the Detroit Lions. Undrafted after leaving Wayne State in 2019, the former Birmingham Groves High School standout spent time on the Lions practice squad before being signed to the active roster in December 2019. This past season, Pittman made his presence felt in a much bigger way. He starred on special teams and even earned a starting roster spot. The 6'3", 240-pound Pittman racked up 18 tackles, including 9 solos, 1 pass defended, and 1 QB hit. Needless to say, Anthony Pittman has come a long way during his short NFL career, and he's done the Warriors program proud. And now he's here with us on the Today at Wayne podcast to talk about his career, the Lions, and what lies ahead. Welcome, Anthony.
Thank you. Appreciate you having me.
Being with us. Appreciate you taking the time. So let's just get into it. At the beginning of the season, you were considered by some people to be a long shot to make the final roster. Were you ever worried that you wouldn't make the team?
I had no doubts that I'll make the team. Whether with Detroit or with another team. Mm-hmm. My mindset going into training camp was, I was on a practice squad the previous 2 years, and, I was just hungry. Yeah. Like just all season throughout training, throughout camp, I was just hungry. Oh, you could almost say desperate. Mm-hmm. Like, I got to make this team. I got to make this 53-man roster. And that was my mindset. I was like, there's no other option. And, that mindset combined with the work I put in the off season, I just had this confidence going into camp where there was no other option.
Well, it absolutely paid off for you. You had a strong season. The Lions struggled a little bit, of course. The team had a rough year, finishing 3-13-1. How tough was it for you to endure the losing, and what allowed you and your teammates to continue to play so hard? Because you guys still played hard throughout the year. So despite all the losing, what was it that allowed you to play so hard? And how tough was it just to kind of deal with that?
Yeah, being from Detroit, I want to be part of the resurgence of the Lions. Us being a great team for the city. So, the losers, you could say they hit extra hard for me, just being from the city. Mm-hmm. But, like you said, we played hard and we still had hope for the week after. Mm-hmm. And I think that just comes from, the group of guys that we have and, the new coaching staff, Dan Campbell's ideologies, his mindset. And, we just embrace that, the grit, the dog, the hunger. We had a young group, but we were hungry. So like I always say, I feel like this was the best losing team I've ever been a part of, right. Just because the mindset was it was just so winning, but we just couldn't get the job done.
Yeah, you had a couple of just bad breaks, man. Sometimes stuff doesn't always bounce your way. But you guys did endure and played through it, and I think that was a great thing. Now, you had a few, you had your own little setback in December. You were placed in the NFL COVID protocol program. Tell us a little bit about that. Were you afraid, and what was the toughest part for you about having to go through that?
Well, I think that was last year. That was last year.
Okay, last year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, mm-hmm. But going back to that year, I was placed on COVID for the second to last week mm-hmm. of the season, mm-hmm. and I was on practice squad, but there was a chance for me to play possibly and get that one credited game that I needed, mm-hmm. or even just get some film out there. Mm-hmm. So being on COVID IR for the past 2 weeks of the season was kind of tough because it's like, this is how my season is ending. Yeah. I got a chance to play. I got a chance to, just run down there on kickoff or do something, something I've been waiting for 2 years, and, get that COVID. So
yeah, that was tough, but you bounced back well. Now let's talk a little bit about a former teammate of yours. A lot has been made of the fact that Matthew Stafford won a Super Bowl this year with the Los Angeles Rams right after being traded from the Detroit Lions. The Lions go 3-13-1. Stafford wins the Super Bowl. That's invited, I guess, a lot of criticism. But before we jump into that, how did you feel just kind of watching your boy, go out there and win the big game?
Well, I felt like he made it a little too close for me. I was getting a little nervous, throughout the game toward the end. But he does how he does with the comebacks, and he got it done, got a job done.
So I take it you were rooting for him.
I was rooting for him.
Okay.
I'm a big fan of Stafford, man. Even when he was here, like just watching him every day, studying how he competes, how he prepares, man. Coming in at 6 a.m, man. And then playing against him this year, we played him, I think, week 4 or 5, and I'm just like, man, he still got it, man. He a bad man.
Still a problem, huh? Well, what do you say to people who view Stafford's success as an indictment of the Lions franchise? Like, we had this guy for 10 years, never won a playoff game with him. He goes away, his first season he's off our team, he wins a Super Bowl. A lot of people have said, it's an indictment of the Lions franchise. What do you say to people who say that?
Well, I just feel like, we may not have had certain pieces, to complete the job. Maybe we had, maybe the receivers, our offense is clicking, but defense couldn't, or we have injuries. It's a lot of factors that goes into that.
Okay.
But I'm happy for him. Obviously he was able to get the job done in LA. But I feel like we can get the same thing done.
Okay.
So
you're expecting, I take it you're expecting a much better year next season.
Oh yeah, for sure.
All right, cool. All right, enough about the Lions. Let's talk a little bit about your life before the NFL. You're a local product. You played at Birmingham Groves High School. You were recruited by Wayne State University, among other places. What made you choose Wayne State?
Okay. I like this question because I always say choosing Wayne State was the best decision I made in my life, because I didn't want to go to Wayne State because it was so close to home. I've seen the campus. I'm like, I want to go somewhere far. And, I didn't want to do the recruiting visit. My mom convinced me to do it. She said, go to Wayne State, just do the recruit visit. I said, all right, whatever. Did the recruiting visit, met with the coaches, met some players, hung out. I'm like, man, I kind of like it here. I really enjoy being at Wayne State. And I was like, I can see myself being here. And it was going into around Christmas 2013 or 14. And, I was kind of being hesitant about committing. I'm like, I want to do more visits. And my mom was just like, you better commit to Wayne State before they pull their offer. And I remember very clear. I called Coach Winters and I said, I'm ready to be a Warrior. And it's the best decision I ever made.
Moms know best, right?
For sure.
Now, tell me a little bit about your time here at Wayne State. What are some of your best memories from your time on the team, as a student at the university?
Let's see. I enjoyed, the best year was probably 2016. I was a redshirt sophomore. We had a great team. With dominating teams left and right. Toward the end of the year, we couldn't get it done though. Had some tough losses, but that was probably my favorite year because just the brotherhood we had in the locker room. We were a family. We hang out at the apartment every hour of the day. It was just a great year. And then
so
for
you
me
got
personally,
a full college experience, even being on an urban campus. Is that
full college? That was a full college experience. hanging with the boys, going to class. We did, the road trip, staying in the hotel. Man, it was a great year. And then for me on the football side, it was great because that really sprung my career. I came off a knee injury, so I was a little going into that year. The coach was a little hesitant on me, linebacker coach. So I was able to, work my way up to getting a few starts that year, and really, making my name known in the GLIAC.
Okay.
So it was a big year.
Now you're a proud local product. You've spent your college career and your pro career playing in front of fans in Metro Detroit area. Is this important to you, and why?
It's very important. Just because I feel like I can feel the city. Like, I understand. Like, I've been here. I rode through the streets. I've been on the campus. I've been downtown. I've lived in the city. I've lived in Birmingham. I've been all around Metro Detroit, so I know the area real well. And I just feel I'm just comfortable here, and I love the people. I understand, the mentality that we have, and the hunger that we have for the Lions to be great. And man, if I'm a part of that, man, that's just gonna be something special for real.
Well, I tell people, people don't understand Detroit. I said, I've seen the Pistons win. I'm old enough to have seen the Tigers win. I remember back in '84. I've seen the Red Wings win. I tell people, I said, you have no idea what it would be like in this town if the Lions won the Super Bowl, man. This is a football town, right? This is a football town. So we're rooting for you, brother. Bring it home.
Yes, sir.
Now you are an exclusive rights free agent, if I understand your circumstances correctly. That means that the Lions get to make sort of the first offer to you, right? To keep you on board. I'm assuming you want to stay here, but I'm going to just ask you outright. Do you have any desire to perhaps play somewhere else after playing your entire career in Michigan?
Nope.
Okay.
Nope.
All right. Well, listen, I know you're busy, so we're going to wrap it up here. But I do want to give you the opportunity to offer up anything else you might want to add. Is there something else that you might want to say? Let me ask you, what do you say? The Warriors, the football team's going through some tough years, last couple of years. Just as a pro player, what's your advice? What do you tell those guys to kind of keep their spirits up?
I'd say you just gotta trust the process. Take it day by day. Work out, go to class, stay in your playbooks, stretch. Because as we all see, a season can turn around in an instant. You got the Cincinnati Bengals, who were not so good last year. Now they were in the Super Bowl. Or even my time at Wayne State. In 2014 and 2015, we weren't that great. And then 2016, we had a great year. So I just say, it's never, you're never out until it's over. So it can change in an instant. So stick with it.
I think those are great words for life too.
Oh yeah.
Words for life. Well, listen, Anthony, I really appreciate you taking the time to join us. We don't want to hold you up too much longer, but we do want to say thank you and let you know that we are proud of you here at Wayne State, and we wish you absolutely all the very best. Okay.
I appreciate that, man.
All right, man. Well, thank you. This is Daryl Dorsey. This has been the Today at Wayne podcast.
Thanks for listening to Today at Wayne. We'd love to hear from you, our campus community, about other podcast ideas and topics. What compelling things are you doing to spread the good word about living, learning, working, and playing like a warrior? Let us know by visiting todayatwayne.edu.